folks, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be doing a review and a comparison between two different brass cleaner formulas. You know, earlier, about a year or so ago, I did a brass cleaning test where I looked at the Hornady brass cleaning solution versus Frankfurt Arsenal. Results of that, I'll post that video link in the description below so you can take a look at that. But in a nutshell, there was really very little, if any, difference between those two brass cleaning formulas. Well, today I'm going to be using, once again, the Hornady one-shot brass cleaning formula, and we're going to be comparing it against a brand new formula. This one is from Creedmoor Sports, and I like Creedmoor Sports. They carry an awful lot of stuff that I'm interested in. If you're interested in precision shooting, then Creedmoor Sports has probably a lot of stuff you'd be interested in. Now, I'll tell you this, I bought all this stuff myself. I'm very interested to see which one works out better, and then I'll probably keep using that stuff in the future. There may be no difference, but I'd like to know that. Now, it's kind of interesting. This stuff here is very explicitly tells you to dilute this at a 1:40 ratio. That's what I've been using. Been using this for years. Not even too much left in it right now, but plenty for what we have to do. This stuff here, the Creedmoor stuff, isn't quite so explicit, but looking things up online on their website and referring to their little bit of dilution directions in the back, it's kind of variable based on heavy soiling or light soiling. We're going to go with the exact same formula dilution rate though. 1:40 here. That's going to give a very good comparison and a fair comparison between this and the Hornady one-shot formula. I've chosen myself some 556 brass, and I have some 30-06 brass. This is the brass that we're going to be using. Let's take a good close look at this stuff, both outside as well as inside. And I'm going to be using an equal number of cases for each of these tests. So I've made up my solution here with 20 ounces of distilled water and ½ ounce of the Hornady one-shot. I've got 10 dirty, well, they're not too terribly dirty, 556 cases that we just took a look at, and I have 5 of those 30-06. Put them in there, make sure they're all submerged. Then I'm going to give it 8 minutes on this ultrasonic cleaner. Well, that Hornady one-shot, it looks like it's going to be pretty hard to beat. But I now have 20 ounces of nice distilled water here. And one thing really nice about this brass cleaning solution from Creedmoor is this handy measuring spout. Now, 40:1 ratio means that I need to use a ½ ounce of this solution with 20 ounces of distilled water. I'm going to add that. There we go. I'm going to agitate this just a little bit to mix it up. And then we'll go ahead and add those 10 rounds of 556 and 5 rounds, 5 cases of 30-06. Give it some power. I always like to leave the power turned off when I'm sticking my hands in some liquid. We'll set it for the same 480 seconds, 8 minutes, and run it. There we go. See how it did. Boy, those look nice also. I'm going to get these all dried out, and then we'll take a close look at the comparison. There's our results. These on the left were cleaned with the Hornady one-shot, on the right with the Creedmoor Brass Care. We'll get some good close-ups of this and take a look. Here's a sample. It didn't turn out the greatest. Now, I've seen this sometimes happen where it just doesn't want to seem to get clean. This is from the Hornady one-shot. We have another one, very similar situation. Cleaned with the Creedmoor Brass Care. Kind of the same scenario, just doesn't seem to want to get clean. Overall, once again, I'm not seeing much difference. They're both fairly clean, quite clean on the interior. You might remember some of those cases were pretty dirty, had some bluish copper type of material, probably from getting wet after being shot. That was the case on some, or the instance on some of these, on both of those. Everything cleaned up very nicely that way. I don't see that one is a lot more sparkling, glittering clean than the other. So I guess, take your pick. Not much difference in cost either. But there you have it. Hornady one-shot, Creedmoor Brass Care.